Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our neck of the woods. It's good to see everybody. Um, Thank you for your patience. I had to do a last minute coffee run, and I also had to get a little bit set up with her paint palette. So she's working on her Christmas gifts today. So, how's everybody doing? So the storms that I've been talking about the last couple of days have changed yet again. So hopefully they're going to be decent for everyone. Hi, Anna. B Dog. B Dog, I hope you're going to be okay up there, buddy. You're going to get snow dumped on you. So you make sure you got everything you need. Anna, B Dog, Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Good to see you, hon. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, I guess. How are you?
I am pretty good. Better today than I was yesterday. Our power was still out yesterday, so it didn't make sense to use up the battery on the laptop for the show. You know,
Yeah.
these things kind of happen once in a while.
It stormed here yesterday too.
Awesome. Yeah, the storm system that I've been talking about these past couple of days, we've seen parts of it, but some people are going to get dumped on real good, and some people it's changed again. Just so you know, you guys know who my weather guy is. I like the Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, y'all. That's the guy I watch for weather. Um, and he just did an update a little while ago, so I watched it right before coming into the show. The weather system is changing again. And now everybody that I thought was going to get hit with the bad weather is going to get hit with lesser or nothing. So I think that's wonderbar.
This weather's crazy.
Well, I mean, I live in Ohio in the valley, on the hillside, but yeah, we have a lot of hills and valleys in Ohio. Um, but I tell you, it's really funny. One of the things that we learned growing up here is if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. And it's a little smart alecky Ohio thing to say, but it's very true because you can experience 4 seasons in a day in this state.
Oh,
It's been known to happen more than once.
that's
Oh
crazy.
wow, 2 degrees above freezing. Oh my goodness. Well, stay warm because you're going to be wet and then you're going to be frosty, and you know what
But
that means.
I'm glad I'm in Florida.
Yeah, there's all. I tend to watch the weather in Ohio or in the winter more than I do so any other time of year. In the winter and in the spring when the fogs are real bad.
Yeah.
But I used to drive at night through all that, so I used to watch the fog. I don't watch it so much anymore because it's glorious when the fog's in the woods. I mean that
Yes.
picture behind us, that's our driveway, and I got to tell you, a more beautiful sight. Um, and Raina, when she was very little, she'd be like, I don't want to go out there, Mom. I can't see. It's foggy. And I'd say, honey, don't you know fogs are just clouds that came to the ground so you could walk through them? So you're really literally just walking through a cloud. That's what it feels like.
I would love to drive down your driveway. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It really is. A better view is I've yet to find than the one I see from my front porch.
I had the uh what is it called? Amazon get in touch with me today and said somebody tried to use um money like $700 and something for a phone. I was like,
You
oh my
sure it was
god.
Amazon? Because I know this time of year there are a lot of scammers out there.
I had to go through my computer to undo the payment that they were going to try to take out.
Hmm.
Well, I hope they ain't scam me.
Whenever you get a call from a business saying that they need your personal information due to an overcharge or this or that or the other, you need to ask for some identification.
Mhm.
And if they cannot provide it, then you need to either put them on hold or tell them to call you back. And when you hang up, you need to be calling the 1-800 number. Go to Amazon.com, find their contact information, and call somebody and find out if you are truly on the phone with a representative from whatever company they're claiming.
Yeah.
That is the only way. That is the only way before you give out any personal information whatsoever to verify that this is not a scammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, Robert.
But yeah, this is the time of year to watch out for it. I love that. Namaste. You know what my favorite is though is Om Namah Shivaya. And that's the God in me sees the God in you. That I see you. I love you. You know?
I like that.
Yeah. Om Namah Shivaya. So hey, let's get started on the conversation, I guess. So let me explain what I mean by shaken or stirred. And then you tell me what you think or how you feel that's progressing. So we always talk about getting the wheat separated from the chaff, right?
Yep.
And if you have any idea how they do that, they take the big stalks of wheat and they're wrapped up, so they call them shocks. They're called actual shocks of wheat. And they thrash them against a piece of wood to separate the wheat from the chaff. And then it goes through another process where it's thrown around and shuffled around in a basket, right? And then that separates it even further. And then there's some more to the process as well. But when we talk about separating wheat from the chaff, I usually picture that thrashing of the big shock with the with the grass with the wheat grass still on it, and you're separating it from the stalk, and then the basket when you're separating it from the chaff. So that's my shaken. Are we being shaken or are we being stirred? And when you take a mason jar with some water and you swirl it around and it starts getting that vortex in the middle, right? And all the sediment is shaken up and lifted up to the top of this vortex together. And we're all mixed and mingled together. And then as the vortex slows down, the denser, heavier particles drop to the bottom first. And while the other particles are still floating at the top of the water, and then they gently settle down. So, with all the different energy shifts that we keep feeling and that we keep going through and experiencing, and I'm sure we're not done. I am almost positive we've got another set right around the bend of chaotic energy coming in. I feel kind of a little bit of both, or a little bit in the basket and a little bit in the jar. What do you think? Crystal, what do you think? What do you guys down there think? Anybody want to come up? I know y'all are talking about the weather. So what do you think, Crystal? Give you something to think about?
I just pretty much think the way it aligns on what you were talking about, how you separate it. I remember reading that in the Bible.
Well, yeah, it's mentioned there.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you're being shaken and thrown around, or do you feel like you're gently flowing through, meeting up with, and then disentangling from others? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're all still together, but we're all right there. Perfect. Hi, Rob. Big brother. You was almost
Hello
Robert.
from the hey above the apocalypse.
I feel sometimes I feel shaken, and sometimes I don't. You know, it's a mixture.
Well, good, but it gives you something to think about. You
Yeah.
know, we always talk about people being here for a reason or a season, and I think a lot of teachings around the world actually share that belief that we all experience different friendships and different acquaintances for a period of time, or for a lesson, or for a reason, and then we either grow apart, or we move apart, or whatever the reason is. They're removed out of our lives, right? um,
Exactly.
so when you think about that, that's where the stirred comes in. We're all stirred up together, right, for a
Mhm.
time, and then as we progress, we stop sinking to the bottom as often or as quickly, because we once you get into a higher vibration, your particle is less dense, less heavy, less weighed down by the material things in life, and so you stay floating in the top for longer. Yeah, B
Wow.
Dog said he's more stirred. Well, to me, it's an interesting correlation.
Well, I know that God has, or Creator, has moved people out of my life and bring people in my life just last, I guess, month.
Yeah, I think we're not done with that. I think that's going to come and go. There's Pappy.
Yep.
Hey, Pat.
The higher your vibrations vibrating, higher your frequency, the better your meat suit feels, the better you feel.
Well, I wonder if there's a period of both shaken and stirred. If there's that period where we needed thrash to be woke up, right? And we've each experienced that at different times. And then we go more into the stirred. I wonder if it's a progression of sorts. What do you think about that idea?
Hi, Pappy. My candle burned out last night. I had to take a break.
I think we all felt that way yesterday. I know it was an early night for us as well. It was just yesterday was one of those days,
Just
which
because.
brought me to the idea. Okay, conservative, we don't mind you dropping in bombs, but please, I'm asking you kindly one more time to remember that I prefer you don't use. Go ahead, use the nicknames. Everybody else uses them. We don't care about the nicknames. Use the nicknames, but don't get me taken down. Okay.
Yep.
Crazy world.
It's going to be, we're going to get, lots of people are going to get shaken when they find out. It's kind of like what Pappy was talking about in that drip of water yesterday.
Yeah.
That drip of water from Creator in you. That's what you are. You're just wearing a skin suit right now. That's going to shake you up when you find that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people will be shaking, and they're going to be stirring because it's a great. It's that's a great conclusion when you reach it.
Yeah.
I watched a good video last night with all my buddies last night. Well, three. One's got too much ego for me, but that was they're starting to dial it in.
Yeah. And you can feel it. You can feel like
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of times if if you're letting spirit guide you, you're going to come right into whatever information it is you're supposed to be coming into.
yep. And you will
You
meet
know?
the people you need to meet, Crystal. It's just that easy. You just. How did I start? I started everything they taught us. You have to unlearn from kindergarten to high school to whatever.
Yep.
That was programming like a cult. So everybody's or you're like
Cowboy.
you're a prisoner. Stockholm syndrome with cognitive dissonance with group think. See how it happens? That's what creation we're in right now. Group think. It's a trip.
Yeah.
How can you be a spiritual individual, God being made by Creator, and then be in a group think type? You know, no, we're all individual spirit beings on our own path. You know,
We're the
you made
super
this.
fluid.
Yeah, we get into a group and we can discuss this, but once it's over, you're on your own. When you pass, when you cross over, you're on your own for a minute, or it all relates. I really, it's an exciting time to be alive. It really is.
For certain. For certain.
Something's gonna happen, And if you got your freaking peepers open and your ears listening, you're gonna start seeing things.
Yep.
These people, some people ain't gonna see. Some people ain't gonna like this. That. Oh, you didn't know. We need to play. We need to play that. That was a good video. We watched
Which one?
about the channeling guy.
Oh, Sam.
The 21st.
Yeah.
If you're not ready the 21st, you ain't gonna feel anything. You're just gonna stay the old same old meat suit, plugging
I've
around. You know.
I
You can
haven't
live.
heard what's supposed to happen the 21st. Can you enlighten me?
It's gonna be a
Lot
big
of
change. Like it's gonna be a shift. Let's say a shift or a wave of energy coming.
Oh, okay.
And if you're not
and it,
living in love,
exactly. That's also the date of the Uluru
yes,
mass meditation, the worldwide meditation to lift the vibration of the planet to a love vibration. So
and like I said, what I said. How long ago was it, Heather? 4 years ago in my video, I said I'm a person who likes to watch and see. I'm going to be watching on the front. I'm always front line at the racetrack. I want to watch and see who it affects and who it doesn't. That's going to be very, very interesting to me.
and see,
So
we already celebrate. We celebrate Yule here at my house. We celebrate the end of the darkest days and the return of the sun and the lengthening of days. We celebrate a little bit of a different calendar than a lot of people, and it's not for religious reasons. It's because it's more in tune with who we are. We tend to go a little bit more towards the agricultural calendars, and it's more in tune with the land here. So for us, it just makes more sense. So we celebrate Yule in this house, and we don't make a big to do or anything, but
yeah. Well, what's up, Bella?
it's important for me to teach Raina the return of the sun. The lengthening of the days. This is the darkest night, which I think it's going to be amazing. Amazing.
See, me
Yeah,
and
it's closer to a lunar calendar, B-Dog.
Corlene and I don't celebrate St. Valentine's Day. We try to keep it every day, every year, all year long, all year round.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything.
None of these holidays do. Like,
No.
I forgot what they call them. But it's not good intentions. They put it out there as good intentions, but it really ain't.
like a
Well, it's
diversion.
what you make of it
Yes.
too. It's what you are. If you're falling in line with what they want you to do, and not putting any thought or consideration into it, or meaning into it for your family on your own, then yeah, it is exactly what they intended it to be. But if you are giving teachings to your family and passing on traditions that mean certain things, that the intent is something beautiful, then that is what it becomes. You see, that's part of how we co-create our reality. Our reality is what we make it, and if we willingly fall in line with the television or um, the puppeteers, and we willingly just let them pull our strings all the time, well, then they're going to get exactly what they want. But there are those of us who say, no, I will not conform to what your teachers told you at school, because I don't believe that that's actually correct.
Well, I got my cousin. Because it's in her name. I live in her house. She lives somewhere else. But she had the cable and internet in her name. I got her to drop the cable. I said, I don't even watch that TV. There's no sense in me even paying for it. All I want is the internet. That's it.
That's what we do.
No. I got my
and
computer. Watch whatever you want on it.
Yeah. What you want to select, not what they want to select for you.
Yep.
And therein is the See, and that's the start of it. That's the start of you being the creator of your reality, creating. Say, I want to learn about more about this or that or the other.
It's part
You
of the
have
Great
the
Awakening. That's
Yep.
the term. It's
have the
part of the
opportunity.
Great Awakening. Amazing.
I don't care to watch any of that because it's too much killing, too much wickedness, too much of all that. You don't need that stirring in your head because you got more things that's going on in real life.
Yeah, look at society.
Yeah.
Just look at it. You know what I mean? Killing's nothing to nobody no more. See, from
Nope.
TV.
And you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, you don't get in trouble.
But I bet you if I went out there and done something stupid like that, I would.
See, but all these things, that we allow, those are the things that I'm talking about. How you create your reality. Um, we have to come awake enough to realize that we have been given and gifted many, many things, and your thoughts can create things. Your thoughts can manifest things, and it may take a while for them to come into the physical realm, but nonetheless, they exist on a plane. You know, waiting for enough energy, and that goes for good and for ill. See, so if you have the knowledge that you have the gift of co-creation with God, that your thoughts can create things, that you can bring abundance or poverty, you can bring joy or sorrow into your life by the power of your thoughts, and you know that, it changes what you think about. And when you find yourself being drawn in one direction, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go, nope, we're headed this way instead. Knowledge is power in this instance, because it allows you to understand that you have a choice. You can control your own thinking. You don't need other people to do it. Yes, reality is very malleable. I would agree with that, B Dog. Absolutely. Um, it's amazing to me how I'm sorry, I was reading chat and got distracted. It's that easy. That easy. I don't want to hear any more news. Thank you, though, conservative cowboy. We appreciate you, but I don't want to hear anymore. I'm good.
Well, I'd rather live in my reality than theirs.
There's something to be said for action in the physical, and there are many different ways that we can conclude those actions in the physical. You see, Native Americans use ceremony. Different cultures use ritual. There's different things. When I say those words, a lot of people have instantly negative connotations from them, and that's part of unlearning what you've learned, because a lot of the things that you're taught growing up, a lot of the words and the language that are used have been twisted on purpose to make you feel or think or associate negatively with something that is actually, in actuality, very positive. Okay. I can give you a physical example off the top of my head. Most of you will not care for it, but I'm going to share it anyway because it's an actual truth. It's fact. It exists. You can look it up. It's real easy to find. The swastika was a worldwide symbol for peace and prosperity, like a prayer.
And they
Okay.
hijacked it.
They turned it into something that you would associate instantly with derogatory meaning, right? They turned it into a hateful symbol. The peace sign, likewise, is actually the symbol of death. And
Yep. The tree of life turned upside down is the symbol of death. That's exactly what they did. They turned it upside down.
Same as the cross.
61. A lot of stuff about the cross. A lot of stuff about that. That's a whole
these are the ways
study.
we need to start. Yeah, these are the ways that, these are the questions we need to start asking ourselves is why? Why? Take back the learning, take back your ability to learn. The information is out there. Take back your ability to reason and take back your ability to listen to your intuition, to your spirit, to your soul. And it'll guide you in the way that you need to go to learn whatever it is you're searching for. And I kid you not. Put some faith in it, because when we feed the sticky yuckiness of the distraction world, when we feed this dissonant energy with fear and loathing and hatred and division and all these different low level vibes, envy, jealousy, lust, all these different, they're just very low level vibes. Okay. When we feed the energy that they have wrapped around us, it gets stronger. That's how this happened. That's how this happened in the first place. So now what we have to do to break out of it is stop feeding it. Stop feeding it our attention. Stop giving any of our energy to it. Stop allowing it in your own life. You can't control what others do. We have free choice. You can only put the information out there and ask people to follow their own intuition, their own soul guidance. That's all we can do. And hopefully it hits, it doesn't land on deaf ears everywhere, that the people who are ready hear it and they perk up and listen, but everyone has free choice about where they want to be and where they want to stand, what they want to know, what they want to hold on to. And it's very, very hard. What's that saying, Robert? It's easier to be conned than to admit you've been conned.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
And that's true, because you have to be really, really tuning in, right? To be able to say, yep, all right, you got me. Shame on me, but never again. And it's very hard to admit when you're wrong. And you want to, human tendency is to push blame out on others instead of taking self-responsibility. But I'll say it like I say it to my boys. Once you are making conscious choices, I say this to Raina too, and she's 10, but she has a very good understanding of this concept that, you know, as a child, you're doing what you're doing. And as a parent, it's my job to teach you, to help you to make better choices, better decisions, to think things through, you know, to act instead of react, those kind of things. That's my job. All right. So when I talk to her about it and I say, you need to clean your room, and she looks me in the eye and she gives me a promise, and then she sits there for 3 hours drawing or getting preoccupied or distracted with this, that, and the other, I say, okay, now we talked about this earlier. You already know that whatever decision you make will have a consequence. Should you do what I've asked of you, you can get on and play with your friends tonight. Should you choose not to by a certain time, you will not get on and play with your friends tonight. That is a consequence of your choice. You know? So I'm trying to teach her in the way to be self-responsible. That and she knows this even with her friends. Mom, I can't understand why so-and-so is mad at me. Well, what happened? Oh, you made the choice to do this. Okay. And this is the consequence of your choice to do this thing. Now you have a couple options. We need to start thinking like this ourselves. We need to start asking ourselves, what further questions do I need to be researching? What other things have they lied to me about? What other truths can I find if I just look? You know? Anybody? Done now.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom. You know what? I know it sounds crazy, but there's times I sat around and wonder, well, how do we know a cup is a cup? Who made up the name?
I say that all the time. I always said, one of my youthful philosophies, right around the time I thought of what if we're all just a bunch of sea monkeys in an old man's fish tank. I was like, who named this pen blue? What if this is actually red? Who named the colors? You know, I never believed the narrative that I was taught. I was always questioning, and as a child, that got me in a lot of trouble. But as a student of life, it's led me a lot of different places, and I've learned a lot of different things. And if I weren't so wide and varied in my studies, I wouldn't have been able to see the bigger picture. I had to widen my studies in order to see the forest through the trees. You understand?
Yep. I don't know why my brain thinks like that, but it does.
That is your soul telling you, don't be afraid to question everything, even things you think it would be silly to question. Question it anyway, because all you're going to do is search for an answer. And in the searching comes the learning, comes the growth, comes the growing. And we are in a season of growing. Definitely in a season of growing.
And it's very fun and a good feeling to find something that resonates with you. When you read it, it gives you goosebumps. That's a good feeling.
Yes. When it resonates so strongly with your soul that you're like, oh,
You're gonna turn into me.
oh, I watched that Prabhu Mohan.
I
he did
studied.
something on cymatics with he was at one of those temples. This guy does all like the different temples in India and Cambodia and all these different places. And he did the Om sound in this thing, and it reflected on a laser with the mirror. It was actually really epic because Om, when it's sung in the proper tone, creates an infinity sigil on the wall, like pictorially. How amazing is that? I think that's pretty awesome
That's awesome
because we
stuff.
know, yeah, frequency affects so many things. So that hit home for me because I had to take anger management classes, which really just ended up being
You know,
Hasidic yoga.
when I was a teenager, oops, sorry. Go ahead.
And they taught me a lot about who I am, how to control my breath, how to control my thoughts, how to use frequency as a healing mechanism.
You're coming in and out, Heather.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna refresh. I'll be right back.
All right.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's fun, man. That's why I studied so much, because the more knowledge I got that resonated with me, my hair stand up on my arms and my back and my head. It just keeps you going. You just can't stop. It's just, and the way to get started is nothing in this world is what you think it is or what you've been taught. You got to start right there. I mean, everything will start opening up. But it's hard for people to do that. And that guy says, nothing is what you think it is. Nothing. That's why it's so fun learning with that concept behind you. And how do you say that?
Everybody's internet wonky today.
It may be your signal. That may be your signal. And hello, everybody. Just come in.
You're okay. Hello, everybody who came in. Lisa's in the house. Hello, Robin Ward. Lisa's here.
Yes, hello to all y'all in chat. I love y'all.
DT's in the house too.
Yeah, I really thought that was a more interesting question that would provoke more thought.
Well, Robert, how's your day gone?
Wow.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. 5x5. Sound good. I had a good day because I had a good how do you say it? I don't know. I listened to Matt LaCroix, right? He talks about the Anunnaki and the connection of the spirit and all this other stuff. That's very good. He came out
That
with
young man is.
He's very, very, very talented.
Who's trying to talk?
You know, I heard something interesting the other day. I think you might find this interesting too, Robert. And it was on YouTube. But it was just interesting. The lady was kind of trying to answer the question of round earth, flat earth. And the way she stated it was very interesting to me because she said, I have chosen to experience round earth, and you may have chosen to experience flat earth, because really existence is myth. And I was like, whoa, there's something to think about. Hi,
Yep.
Pappy.
Yep. That's
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Peppy.
'Tis a good day.
Yeah, it's a lot better day today.
Interesting conversation today.
Different. Certainly different.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not different. It's not different.
Different angle.
It's right on time.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
talking about frequency.
Yep.
That's what we are, you know. We're a frequency.
Yep.
Each of us is a note in Creator's hum. We each have our own frequency. And when we get around frequencies that resonate with who we are, and we start resonating with those frequencies, then that frequency can change a little bit and raise us with it once we come in resonance with it. And these times that we're in, if you stop and think about us as being frequency, let's say that we're a certain frequency right now, but we're destined to be another frequency. So a frequency is introduced to us at some point in time that causes our very being to vibrate at the newer frequency. Now everything that is clinging to our being that is not that vibration is repelled and sloughed off and taken away. It falls off. Just like a snowflake that hits the window and it melts into water and it runs off. That stuff which was clinging to us before, when the new frequency hits us, won't cling anymore. If we come into resonance with the new frequency, if we insist on staying at the old frequency, what will happen is that we will accumulate more of the stuff that the higher frequency is looking to lift off us. Once again,
Yes.
it's a choice, conscious or unconscious. Great subject today. Hum your song.
Well, and I likened it one time to us being different colors and frequency. There's something there too. There's a definite connection there too. And we are all energy. We know this.
Well, it puts into context why a lot of the esoteric beliefs utilize sound as a vehicle, if you will, as an activator, as a switch. And it doesn't make any difference if you're talking about the drum and the resonance of a drum, or the Tibetan bowls, the singing bowls, or Buddhist or mantra chants that start up a certain vibration. And that creates that vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so vibration is important. And the vibration, if you look at it in a way of having information, you can have a vibration that is what is called the carrier vibration that carries us. And then all the expressions of the other vibrations that go up and down like sine waves as we go through life. That baseline, that we are, keeps us grounded. But you know what happens when Creator decides, look, I want you to all remember your but he's going to raise it an octave. and you ride that new baseline. That's where we're headed. We're getting there. It's coming. It's getting closer. Can you feel it?
We're feeling it here.
I know Robert's feeling it.
Oh yeah, we're feeling it here as well.
Corlin's feeling it.
I'm glad to see Robin in here. Hi, Robin. Haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah. She said she's going to have to get surgery.
Hi.
Who's that?
Who is that?
You know who it is.
Hi, Grena.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Pappy. Hello, everyone in chat.
She's having a painting day today.
Bobby says hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby. Yeah, there's definitely that was the I remember feeling shaken quite some time ago, but now I'm feeling more stirred, more uh even though there's movement, it's still with the flow, you know?
Have you ever seen any of the videos where they show patterns on a speaker? They'll put
Yes.
sand or something on a speaker, and then they'll change the frequency.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what
I used to actually listen to my music with the fractal
Yep.
playing in the background or
Well,
being the visual for the audio.
yeah. Well, that's actually a visual of what's happening. That's what's happening to us. That's what's going to happen to us. You know, creator's going to make our very being dance. And the 21st is a significant date, not only because it's the winter solstice and that sort of stuff, but a lot of the indigenous peoples are talking about that particular date for some reason as far as their energy awareness. And I'm going to be kind of interested in what the mirror is of that date, which is the 12th, which happens to be my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be interested to see what happens to the energy levels on that day for me.
I think this weekend is going to be full of it of energy. Well, I mean, I can feel it now, so it just feels like it's getting ready to crescendo. Like when you're listening to a really good instrumental piece and you feel the crescendo before it even starts.
Yep.
That's what it feels like to me right now. I feel like I'm in a piece written by Bach or Mozart or one of the greats there, like.
Da 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 da.
I know.
Da da da
I know.
da 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 da.
Well, and I don't know. I've always actually attributed a lot of things in life. There's like a song for every thing.
Well, if you go back to a lot of beliefs about how did creation start, and that sort of thing, of course, that's the greatest of all mysteries and the greatest of all miracles, in my feeling, my humble opinion. It started in the mind of creator with an intent to do something, and it was through his word to say, let it be so, that it was. Was that a tune? Was it a song of life? Was it a song of spirit? Well, we don't know. But it certainly set forward the vibration of the spirit in all things, which is still resonating to this day.
Yes.
Yep. Spot on. Well said.
I'm just glad that creator
wow.
didn't say, oh crap.
I it's funny that we came around this way. I always laugh when people say I can't sing because I was trying to mention it earlier about the when I was doing the Hasidic yoga, and they were teaching us about songs and things, and we were all terrible the first time we sang Om Namah Shivaya. All terrible, all off key, and it wasn't long. It wasn't long at all before, as we continued to do it and tuned our not just our vocal cords, but that deep resonance inside of you. That's where it comes from. And the more we sang, the more in tune we were, the more in frequency we were, the more resonating we were. And it's really a beautiful thing when people say I can't sing. It's like, just keep doing it, because you will get better. And singing any kind of like singing prayer work or anything like that is going to be it resonates with something deeper and expresses itself better as it grows within you. Does that make sense?
Well, one of the things that that brings to mind is that you can be a poor singer and not be able to carry a tune unless you got a basket. But when you're in a chorus and everybody's singing, your voice still lends strength to the song that's being sung, because the others in the chorus make you look good too. And that's the whole point. We all sing our song. Okay, some of us aren't made to sing solo, and be the prima donna of the opera, so to speak. Some of us haven't been given that gift, but some of us can belt out the big notes and the big tunes and the big tones that are needed, to make the collective whole even more powerful than the individual was. Once again, the new math: 1 + 1 + many ones equals another new one.
Yes.
Go ahead, Robert.
I picked the snake card today.
Oh, the snakes crawled at night.
Let me get through this. Let me get through this before I cough again. Hold on, I'm going to cough anyway.
Preemptive coughing is always better.
Okay.
Good one.
Snake, come crawling. There's fire in your eyes. Bite me, excite me. I'll learn to realize. The poison transmuted brings eternal flame. Open me to heaven to heal me again. Snake medicine people are very rare. Their intuition involves experiencing and living through multiple snake bites, which allows them to transmute all poisons, be they mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional. The power of snake medicine is the power of creation, for it embodies sexuality, psychic energy, alchemy, reproduction, and ascension or immortality. The transmutation of the life-death rebirth cycle is exemplified by the shedding of the snake's skin. It is the energy of wholeness, cosmic consciousness, and the ability to experience anything willing and without resistance. Wait a minute. It is the energy of wholeness, cosmic consciousness, and the ability to experience anything willingly and without resistance. It is the knowledge that all things are equal in creation, and that those things which might be experienced as poison can be eaten, ingested, integrated, and transmuted if one has the proper state of mind. Thoth the Atlantean, who later returned as Hermes and was the father of alchemy, used the symbol of two snakes intertwined around a sword to represent healing. Complete understanding and acceptance of the male and female within each organism creates a melding of the two into one, thereby producing divine energy. This medicine teaches you on a personal level that you are a universal being. Through accepting all aspects of your life, you can bring about the transmutation of the fire medicine. This fire energy, when functioning on a material plane, creates passion, desire, pro- procre- procreation, and physical vitality. On the emotional plane, it becomes ambition, creation, resolution, and dreams. On the mental plane, it becomes intellect, power, charisma, and leadership. When the snake energy reaches the spiritual plane, it becomes wisdom, understanding, wholeness, and connection to the Great Spirit. If you have chosen this symbol, there's a need to there's a need there's a need within you to transmute some thought, action, or desire so that wholeness may be achieved. This is heavy magic, but remember, magic is no more than a change in consciousness. Become the magician or the entrancement or the enchantress. Transmute the energy and accept the power of the fire. If we had drawn this card upside down, you may have chosen to mask your ability to change. Look at the idea that you may fear changing your present state of affairs because this may entail a short passage into discomfort. Does this discomfort keep you from assuming the viewpoint of the magician within? Is this the old pattern safe? Is the old pattern safe, reliable, and a rut? In order to glide beyond that place which has become safe but non-productive, becomes snake. Release the outer skin of your present identity. Move through the dreamlike illusion that is insisted on static continuity and find a new rhythm as your body glides across the sands of consciousness, like a river winding its way towards the great rivers of the sea. Immerse yourself in that water and know that the single droplet which you represent is being accepted by the whole. Feel snake's rhythm and you will dance freely, incorporating those transmuting forces of the universe as part of your sensual dance of power. There's the drop we talked about again. That's very nice. Goes back to what we were talking about today.
And it brings up a good point. How do you transmute the poisons?
Yep.
What are the poisons? Well,
Distractions.
poison is anything
Yep.
that is used to extreme, that it puts you off balance. Poison is anything that is taken in that is not for your highest good. Poison is anything that causes a stumbling block for another. Poison is something that has a bitter taste in our mouth after we know what it is.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and it may feel discomforting shedding your skin and relearning everything, but why stay in the rut when it's non-productive? Basically what it says.
Exactly. It's part of the growth cycle. When you think about it, what animal is better suited to show you a growth cycle than one that sheds its skin every time it goes through one? You know? And they go through multiple growth cycles in their life, just like we do.
Well, one of the things that snake also teaches us is that through the processes that you've explained in talking about snake and its medicine and how we can apply those attributes to us, we understand that a lot of that change, even though it is necessary that the choice has to be made inside, a lot of that change is influenced by what is gathered from the outside. Okay. And that tells us that it's important that we are aware of the information that comes in from the outside all around us. You know, our situational awareness, our awareness of who is, who is trying to say something or convey something. And that kind of brings me up to something I think would probably reinforce that. And as Robert pulled a card, I pulled a card also. And the card that I pulled today is the talking stick. Now, I'm going to turn my camera on for a moment because I happen to have my talking stick in my lap after I pulled that card. And it fits right in with what the card Robert pulled today. Okay, I'm going to hold this up if you want to put this on screen for everybody to see. Some of you have seen this before. This is a talking stick that I've made.
That's beautiful.
As you can see, that's one of my totems. Snake happens to be one of my totems, has been for a long time. Much to the chagrin of my mother, by the way, who does not like snakes. Okay, but what's the significance of a talking stick? Let's discuss that for a moment. Talking stick. Talking stick remind me of each sacred point of view, complete within the circle of the sacred hoop. Now, the key words of a talking stick are viewpoints and options. Viewpoints, everybody has them. Options, choices, everybody has to make them. Now, the talking stick is a tool used in many Native American traditions when a council is called. It allows all council members to present their sacred point of view. The talking stick is passed from person to person as they speak, and only the person holding the stick is allowed to talk during that time period. The answering feather is also held by the person speaking unless the speaker addresses a question to another council member. At that time, the answering feather is passed to the person asked to answer the query. From this form of parliamentary procedure has been used by the Native Americans for many centuries and recognizes the value of each speaker. Every member of the meeting must listen closely to the words being spoken. So when their turn comes, they do not repeat unneeded information or ask impertinent questions. Indian children are taught to listen from age 3 forward. They are also taught to respect another's viewpoint. This is not to say that they may not disagree, but rather they are bound by their personal honor to allow everyone their sacred point of view. A talking stick can be made of any type of standing person or a tree. Okay. People responsible for holding any type of council meeting are required to make their own talking sticks. The talking stick may be used when they teach children, hold council, make decisions regarding disputes, hold powwow gatherings, have storytelling circles, or conduct a ceremony where more than one person will speak. Since each piece of material used in the talking stick speaks of the personal medicine of the stick's owner, each talking stick will be different. The qualities of each type of standing person bring specific medicine. For instance, white pine is the peace tree. Birch symbolizes truth. Evergreen represents the continued growth in all things. Other trees, such as cedar, denote cleansing. Aspen is a symbol of seeing clearly, since there are many eye shapes on the trunk. Maple can be used for children's counsel since it represents gentleness and sweetness. Elm is used for wisdom. Mountain ash or rowan for protection. Oak for strength. Cherry wood for expression and high emotion or love, which is what my talking stick is made of. Fruit woods for abundance. And walnut or pecan for the gathering of energy or beginning new projects. Each person making a talking stick must decide which type of standing person will assist their needs and add needed medicine to the counsels held. The ornamentation of each talking stick is important as well. The colors of the beads used in the stick all have meaning. In the Senecret edition, red is for faith, yellow is for love, blue is for intuition, green is for will, pink is for creativity, white is for magnetism, purple is for healing and gratitude, orange is for feeling kinship with all living things, gray is for friendship and knowledge, and brown is for the earth connection and self-determination. All pastel colors are to enhance prophecy. Black is for harmony and listening, and crystal clear is for clarity and focus. The type of feathers and hide used on a talking stick, if they're there, are very important as well. Each creature being has its own medicine and contributes to the medicine of the talking stick as well as the counsels it is used for. The answering feather is usually an eagle feather. However, other feathers can be substituted for that, which represents high ideals, truth as viewed from the expansive eye of eagle, and the freedom that comes from speaking total truth to the best of one's ability. The answering feather can also be the feather of a turkey, the peace eagle of the South. We spoke about turkey the other day, Robert, which brings peaceful attitudes as well as the give and take necessary in successful completions of disputes. In the tribe that see owl as good medicine, the owl feather may also be used to stop deception from entering the sacred space of the council. The skins, hair, or hide used in making a talking stick bring the abilities, talents, gifts, and medicine and healing qualities of those creature beings to the council in a variety of ways. Buffalo brings abundance. Elk brings physical fitness and stamina. Deer brings gentleness. Rabbit brings the ability to listen with his large ears. The hair from the horse's tail or mane brings perseverance and adds connection to the earth and to the spirits of the wind. Horsehair is especially good if the answers that rode the wind before us are being consulted in the council. If an illness of heart, mind, spirit, or body has affected the group gathered, sometimes snakeskin may be wrapped around the talking stick so that healing and transmuting of those poisons can occur. Now you know why I have chosen cherry, gentleness, and love, and snake as my talking stick for healing. Because I always try to heal from the point of love.
The cherry wood.
Yeah, cherry wood.
Yep.
All right. So the talking stick is a tool that teaches each of us to honor the sacred path of view of every living creature. In council, if we listen to the wisdom and teaching of others, we can then broaden our understanding and relate in a new manner to others. In a manner of speaking, it allows you to change your position around the campfire so you can see where another is speaking from. It has been said that the great wheel of life has many spokes, and that each of us will stand on every spoke at one time or another. The lessons we learn on each spoke bring us closer to wholeness and harmony. Disdain for those who have not learned these lessons will not serve in bringing harmony. Now, how do you apply the teachings of the talking stick? The talking stick reminds us of the validity of other viewpoints and teaches us how to listen and apply what we hear. We are being reminded not to interrupt others who are imparting wisdom. We are taught through listening that life has millions of options and answers to any dilemma. If the talking stick has appeared today, you are probably not allowing yourself any options in your present situation or have become too stuck on one side to see any further than your self-created tunnel. Open up and listen to the opportunities that the talking stick says are coming your way. Remember, all life signals and or options are available to those who will hear. You'll be given the opportunity to grow to an alternative route. Use the gift now. And I've said this many times, you don't know where the teachings are coming from. They're always coming. You don't know if they're going to be positive or negative, but they're still a lesson. And it can be from even the crossword or the inappropriately spoken word, or even the frown on another person's face as you're talking to them, that works as a feedback to you to give you the option of asking the question of why is it happening and why is it eliciting within me this feeling. There's your chance and your choice for growth.
Yes.
The talking
should
stick
always be.
works both ways. Remember, we discussed before the importance of the power of the word that we put out. Okay, it has power when it comes from our mouth, but it has power also when it comes from another's mouth and we listen to it and we filter it through our heart first rather than our ears. So the talking stick is a good example of how to use snake medicine, how to use the medicine of any teaching that comes in. Allow those things to speak to you, but you have to allow yourself to hear.
Yes.
Listen with your heart.
Yeah. Pappy, DT was asking about your cards, I think, about what you were reading from. And I wanted to tell him it was the Sacred Medicine deck, but I really don't remember if that's the correct deck or not.
He wants to know where he could read about the information that we share. That's a tough one.
I would
It's that-
honestly
I'll go
love to
ahead and
have all that.
put it up here. What I'm reading
I
from are
enjoy
called
that.
the Sacred Path cards. They're by Jamie Sams. Now she also has the wisdom cards that Robert reads from, and that is basically it goes on and talks about some of the Native American ceremonies and some of their belief systems and the teachings that are within them. Now, I want you to understand, everybody, okay?
Mine.
There you go, Robert.
There you go.
Yep.
These are not cards that are used for fortune telling.
No.
They're not utilized in that way. Okay. And if they are utilized in that way, then I think they're probably being used with the wrong intent.
Right.
And having said that, I will say this. Spirit teachings, okay, they're neither good nor bad. Okay, they're kind of neutral. Okay, it's the intent of the seeker that dictates the type of energy and information that you'll receive. if you're working from the darker side, that's probably what's going to come in. All right, because there's the contrary side, as Robert reads all the time, the contrary side of everything. For every teaching, there's a contrary side of what happens if it's not utilized or utilized in an upside down manner, or a backwards manner, or mirrored rather than, a looking through. Okay, so that's important to ascertain, because once again, that comes right down to what choice are you making, consciously or unconsciously. That comes down to what is your intent. You're more powerful than you think you are. We sometimes don't. If we knew our own power, sometimes we'd probably frighten ourselves.
Oh, this is true. Very true.
Oh,
Well, Pappy, I try to
Diana
ease
girl.
people into it, but we are co-creators. We have been given gifts that we have forgotten how to use. And they call this the awakening for a reason.
That's right.
It goes so much deeper. Just keep following it.
Pappy, could you define Vision Quest?
Okay, a vision quest. A vision quest is for somebody that is looking for answers as to perhaps what their purpose is in life, why they are where they are now, guideposts, if you will, on a pathway to choose into the future. Okay, and a vision quest, traditionally in the native way of thinking, was actually a ceremony unto itself, where a person went through a period of fasting and solitude, anywhere from 1 day to generally 4 days, with the idea of going out and praying for guidance and being aware of the messages that were brought in during that time. And it was a time of sacrifice, if you will. They didn't eat. They drank very little water. Okay, they stayed awake most of the time they could, and consciously prayed for guidance for each of the directions and stuff. And they would receive visions, or they would receive waking dreams, or they would actually have actual visitations of different types of animals or plants or circumstances that happened to them. And then at the end of their vision quest time, they would go back and they would sit in council with the medicine people, generally done inside a sacred lodge or a sweat lodge or something of that nature, where all of those things were interpreted to bring some more clarity to the individual that was on a vision quest. There's actually a whole teaching for that in the book that I showed you, and perhaps at some time we can read that. But in a nutshell, Robert, you've asked me the question. In a nutshell, the vision quest is the same thing as going to the looks within place that I had always talk about. It's a place of self introspection, where we literally take a look at ourselves, strip everything off of ourselves, get ourselves naked in front of ourselves. Okay. And then look around for the new clothing and the new directions and stuff that we're going to go. Okay. We have to learn about ourselves first, what our limitations and capabilities are, and then take it from there with the tools that are given us. A vision quest should be taken under the advisement of somebody that is experienced in assisting with those, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so. Okay, but traditionally it's always been under the guidance and the tutelage to help keep the person safe. Even many of the established religions of the world talked about these vision quests in other terms. The the 40 days and 40 nights spent in the wilderness, going up on the mountain, things of this nature. You'll hear these terminologies. Basically, that was a vision quest. Does that kind of answer your question, Robert?
Yeah, I just wanted your definition because Robin mentioned it. And I didn't want
Pappy,
to.
I would love that. We could have a whole conversation around that.
I didn't want to
I'll have
butcher
to
it.
have
On the vision quest? Yeah.
I didn't want to butcher it. So I
Yeah.
figured.
Well, on the vision question, perhaps at some time, you get an understanding what the vision quest is, and then perhaps at some time I can talk to you about how I facilitate people going into Aquania, which is my version of a vision quest for modern times, if you will. It's so difficult for people to go out and spend 4 days in the wilderness now, let alone get them to give up their phone for 1 day, let alone 4 days in the wilderness.
1 hour.
For an hour, yeah. Well, that's the conditioning that we're in,
Yep.
But
You gotta be able to
one of
drop
the things that I do,
front door and
yeah,
go
one of
out.
the things that I do through my ceremonies is to take people into their own sacred space where they can do that, their own control room. They're the only ones that have the key to that door, and what comes and goes in there is based upon their frequency, their intent, who they are, and what they can become. That's the opportunity to go in there and shed who you were, okay, and see who you are, and then make choices about who you could become.
Snake all over again.
Yeah.
Transmutation, shedding. Yep.
Absolutely. It's like we mentioned even before you pulled the snake card there, when the vibration comes in and it starts shaking us and rattling us and rolling us, all that stuff's supposed to fall off us.
Yep.
That we don't need anymore. It's like a dog getting up out of the mud and giving a good healthy shake and everything goes flying.
Yeah, exactly. And I really didn't understand Dawn's question earlier. Where did that go?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
She was asking about how does she find her spirit animals, I think.
I have a question. Does the spirit animal choose you, or do you just pick your favorite animal? I don't even know if she means
There are-
cards or just her spirit animal.
Well, there's a lot of different animals and plants and rocks and all kinds of stuff out there, When we say, people think it's just spirit animals. It's not.
No.
A spirit helper can come in any form. It can come in the form of the stone people. It can come in the form of certain water. Okay, running water, healing water, things of this nature. Some people are attracted to that. It can come in the form of a plant medicine. Or it can come to the form of one of the animals, whether they're four-legged, the winged, the crawlers, the swimmers. Okay, they all have different attributes that they use to live in their world. And they can be applicable to us. They can come with lessons to teach us not only how they survive, but how we might be able to adapt those lessons to how we can survive and thrive. And to go out and actively solicit a spirit animal or a power animal indicates that you've come to the decision that maybe you can use some guidance. Okay, and you're asking, what kind of guidance can I get? Where can I get it from? And who's the teacher? The first important thing is you put out the call for the teaching. I'm willing to learn. And if you put out the call and you're sincere about it, the teacher will show up. And, one of the things that I do when I take people into Aquania is to give them the opportunity to meet with any spirit helpers that might show up in whatever form they wish to show up. I don't say you're going to meet this spirit animal, you're going to meet that spirit animal, that sort of thing, because that's not my choice at all. Okay, I'll let the higher wisdom know who your spirit teacher is. But if you go to a looks within place, lots of times you'll see them showing up in your dreams. You may see them in unusual places. For example, sitting on a limb, staring at you 2 days in a row and talking to you. This sort of stuff. And then you take a look at, well, what could that animal be talking to me about? Well, first off, find out about the animal. What are their attributes? Is there anything that applies to you? And if they're to become your spirit guide, if you will, or your totem, or something that that you wish to emulate as a trigger for your higher spiritual awakening, you'll receive further validation. I've never found that to fail. And spirit guides come and they go depending upon your need. You may have one spirit guide that guides you into the spiritual pathway, and that's all they're supposed to do. And they hand you off to somebody else in the relay, and somebody else in the relay. Or you may have spirit guides that stick with you through your whole pathway, that guides your whole pathway. If your pathway is on healing and healing from heart, okay, you may have spirit guides that stay with you that whole time you're on that pathway. So it's not a simple thing of going someplace and saying, okay, here you go, 2 for $5 today. Today you can have a wolf and an elk. There you go. Give me your $5 and you're gone. It don't work that way.
Right. Yep.
Anybody that tells you it does is lying to you.
Yep. They're taking your money. Run. You want money? Run. This is to be given freely. That's what I feel in my spirit.
Crows are such interesting birds.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Especially
you understand in the process of the giveaway when you say given freely. Okay, in actuality, when you give away something, okay, you're actually giving away the space that was occupying before. So you've created space where it was once you've given it away. And once you've created space, you've created a vacuum to pull something in to replace it. Now, the type of energy that you give away, the type of intent that you give away, the amount of love that you give away, all of those things create a certain resonance, a certain frequency. And then in the spiritual aspects of it, like attracts like. That's what you get to replace it in another form. So you're only giving away something that you're holding temporarily to receive something which is coming that you didn't have room for until you did the giveaway. Something to think about. Giveaway should be a part of your life. You are the giveaway. Because we were the gift. Creator made us the gift. We are the giveaway. Pass the gift along. The gift keeps getting refilled. Every time we take the ribbons off and open up the gift and give it away, we turn around and look, and there's another gift. It's all wrapped up, waiting for us to unwrap. I love it.
Yep, I love that too.
Too. New growth. That's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I love living that way. I just love it. It's just love. That's it. It's just love.
Yeah. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
That's the only way we came into being,
Yes.
Yes.
is because of that.
Yep.
Creator didn't create us because he hated us.
Right.
Because part of Creator is within us. Why would Creator hate himself? Ooh.
Said.
What a wonderful experience it is to be alive right now.
It is, but it is.
Yep. A little bit shaken, a whole lot stirred. Well, that
Robin
stirring
has some
is
Native
within you
American
too,
background
you know?
also, and she made a comment in her last comment right here. It's worth expanding on. And you know, when the elders pass, very, very infrequently will you find them trying to be buried with all of their belongings. Okay, they know, just like most of us know, we came into the world naked and we go back into Mother Earth the same way. Everything that goes with us goes back to the elements from which it was made. And in order to pass the medicine on, many times everything that the elder had was given away in a great giveaway. It's not unlike, you know, someone passing in a family and then the family members coming up and dividing everything up. The difference was there was no squabbling over who gets to sell the house and keep the money, and, you know, who gets the car so they can sell it or whatever, that sort of stuff. Okay, so the giveaway even continued, you know, and as they go through life, most of the time, as the elders got older and they got closer and closer to the other side camp and getting ready to take off their earth robe, they would divest themselves of a lot of their belongings through a giveaway before that. The hard part with doing that is that it is awful difficult to get into people's minds that if I'm giving you something, I do not expect something in return. You know, they'll want to give you something, you know, so you have to be careful if you're doing the giveaway and you're getting so much in return from people that feel that they have to pay you for what you gave them in some manner, that you end up being just as cluttered as you were before.
Which cancels the true giveaway.
Well, it doesn't cancel it. It just means you're going to have to do another giveaway at some point.
Right.
You know,
there's a term. I can't remember what
but
it said.
you know, it's and I've been on those things where I've utilized that as a lesson, where I've given somebody something and they come back and give me something, and I make them stand there while I take what they've given me in my left hand, pass it to my right hand, and I hand it to somebody else over there. Okay, and then I have to study the look on their face because they just gave me a gift, and I in turn gave that gift away. And then they'll look at me with that consternation on their face, like, "Why are you giving my gift away?" And I'll tell them, "Thank you." And they'll say, "What do you mean, thank you?" I was wondering what I could give that fellow over there as a gift. Thank you.
Right. I see, said the blind man.
It's all a teaching, and it all goes around. I've seen stuff that I've given away years and years ago show up in somebody else's hands. I don't even know who it is. I know that it's something that I gave somebody such and such a time, and that's the way medicine is supposed to work.
Yes.
Medicine and teachings like this, spiritual awareness, spiritual growth, is not something to be kept. It's not something to be hoarded. It's not something to be put in a cupboard until you pull it out and it's no longer good, covered with dust. It's meant to be alive. That spirit in it is alive. It wants to live. It should go through all things. Where does that teaching come from? Tagushkashka, the spirit in all things. Grandfather spirit, grandmother spirit, and the spirit that moves all things. The spirit that is in everything. Those three aspects of Creator. 1 + 1 + 1 = 1 creator. That spirit moves through all things. We need to keep that spirit moving through us.
Yep.
We don't want to dam it up. What
Yep.
happens when you dam it up? You get nothing but flatulence and no satisfaction. Hey, Monty.
And that-
Hey, Molly. Good afternoon.
Well, gentlemen, I think we may wrap this up today. There may not be a show tomorrow. I'm just going to let you guys know right now. Anybody out there in listener land, December is going to be a little bit of hit and miss for us. But I think we're going to end today's show on this. I think there's been many things spoken that need to be digested. And I hope you all have a good evening digesting them. Robert, you got any final thoughts?
Don't be scared to wear the snake medicine. If you think you can shed the skin, transmute, try it. You'll like it. I wish everybody a good day and blessings for everyone.
Thank you, big brother. Peppy?
Well, like your title says, shaken or stirred? Or do you want to wait until you're slapped? You know, maybe it takes a good slap. I don't think so. Most of you can see it coming. Enjoy the ride. You're supposed to be on it. And we're all headed to where we're supposed to be going.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. What they said.
And what Bobo said.
You know, the whole reason that we do this is and each and every one of you that's ever come up or that comes up even regularly. Hi, Bobo. Oh, there's my Felix a lot. There he is.
Let's go, boy. Give him a lick for me. Right in the ear.
When we do this, we're being called to share, to give away love and understanding and different thought things to help others. I don't know if anything that I say any day of the week is going to help someone. I have faith that I'm being called to put out something that someone else needs in the time that they need it. And so, you know, I'm working on faith here. That's my faith that every time I'm called to come up and talk and speak, that the message that needs to go out is what goes out. So that's what I try to do. And that's what each one of you that ever comes up and even converses with me, you're being led by your spirit to come share something that will be medicine for someone else. You know, I truly believe that. And we don't know how it all works, but we do know it works. So don't forget that. Have a great day. And we may try to come on tomorrow, or maybe a little bit later. I don't know. I'll try to let you guys know something. So love and light to all, and have a great day.
Have a great
Bye,
day,
guys.
everybody.
Have a great afternoon.
May Spirit be with you.